Hello, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. So this is the third video in the series of Howard Schubiner's 6F's that can contribute to symptoms persisting. So the third one we're going to talk about is frustration. And frustration is a very common feeling that people will experience when they're living with persistent symptoms. And understandably so, it's probably quite an obvious thing to feel if you're having to deal with symptoms every day that are holding you back from doing things, that are interfering with your life, that are maybe you're not getting a reason as to why you've got them. So frustration is a very common thing that people will experience, and certainly something that a lot of people that I work with will report. Well, I say report, I mean, often initially people don't see that they're frustrated, but when we start to explore it a bit deeper, then frustration is something that's definitely there. And we know that frustration can actually be fuel to the fire that makes the symptoms persist. And you might wonder why that is, but well, if you think about how frustration, how we feel when we're frustrated in other terms in our life. So I don't know, what's a kind of easy example? You're trying to get the lid off of something, trying to get the lid off a jar, and you can't get it. And you're trying and trying, and you're getting frustrated because you're not able to do what you want to do. You're not able to do something that seems like a relatively simple task, and you're not able to do it. How does that then feel in your body? How do you feel? If you kind of reflect upon it, well, if you watch somebody trying to open a jar and they couldn't open, what would you be seeing? So you would see them maybe getting agitated. They would maybe tense their muscles. They would maybe shout or swear or do something like that. So there would be physical manifestations of that frustration. You'd be able to see that they were getting frustrated, and you could probably say, "Oh, you're looking a bit frustrated there. Can I help you or something?" So frustration is something that we've all experienced. So that's an example. Maybe if you're stuck in a traffic jam and you're going to be late and you can't do anything about it. So the recurring theme is there, if you think it's the jar and the traffic jam and the persistent symptoms, is there's a situation that you're trying to resolve and that you don't really feel you have much control over. So the jar, you think, this is ridiculous, it's a jar, I should be able to open a jar, but I can't open a jar, I can't get in to get my jam so I can have it on my toast or whatever it is you're doing. In the traffic jam, this is ridiculous, I'm trying to get somewhere, I now have no control over what's happening, I cannot move myself forward in this line of traffic, I am stuck, persistent pain, this is so frustrating, I can't do anything about this, I am stuck, why will this not work, why will this not go away, this is so annoying that this is happening to me. So you can see how it's the same, the frustrations, it's all the same sort of idea. And if you think about what's happening in all these situations, what your brain is going to perceive is there is a problem, there is something wrong. So let's keep it as something wrong here. Because you're frustrated, there's definitely something wrong, and that you have no power over it. You cannot do anything about it. And in fact, it's the fact you can do nothing about it that's actually getting you all angry and annoyed and frustrated. So the brain then perceives that as there being a problem. There is something that's causing you alarm. There's something that's causing you danger in some sort of way, in the sense that it's causing you alarm, and therefore it can cause the symptoms to persist. So when we're meeting the symptoms with frustration, then it can actually cause them to continue. That's not to say that it's not perfectly natural to feel frustrated. Of course it is. Of course, it's a perfectly natural response to have, but it's recognising it in relation to the jam and to the traffic jam, but also recognising that the frustration exists in relation to the symptoms you might be experiencing, and trying not to buy into that. So yeah, absolutely, that's only natural that I feel frustrated, but also understand it's not a helpful feeling to have. It's not actually going to get me any further forward. It's not going to help me resolve my symptoms, and actually to me it's a fuel to the fire. So there's nothing to be frustrated about, there's nothing to fight. I know there's nothing wrong with me, I know these symptoms are due, to the hypersensitivity of my nervous system. Frustration, although natural, is not going to help me. So recognise when the frustration is coming up, acknowledge that it's there, and then just let it go. It's not, you don't have to buy into it and get into that frustrated sort of anguish that can go with it. So it's not about ignoring the frustration. It's not about saying, oh, I'm not, I shouldn't be frustrated, I shouldn't be frustrated. Yeah, yeah, of course you feel frustrated about it. Of course you are. Who wouldn't be frustrated that you're having to put up with these symptoms? But not buying into it and not letting it take arms and legs and grow and grow and grow. Acknowledge it, recognise it, and then let it go. It's not serving any purpose. It's not going to help you get where you want to be. So acknowledge that it's there and then let it go, because you know if you're buying into that frustration, if you're allowing it to build and build and build, then it is actually feeling the symptoms further. And that's obviously not what the outcome is that you don't want to be adding to the fuel. Okay, so that was a wee short video on frustration.